Hello people, my name is Shamid from Computer 01, and today I'm going to be teaching, basically I'm going to be giving you an overview of your journey to start programming. Now this is just programming basics, like how to program. So if you actually want to learn how to program, I recommend you go to my other tutorials, because this is just going to teach you what programming is, how, like, the applications of programming, what programming languages are, and how programming works. So I recommend, if you want to look at the tutorials on actually how to do programming, you go to my actual tutorials on programming. This is just going to be programming basics, an introduction to programming. So again, do what I told you to do. So here we are. So welcome. My name is Shami from Computer 01. I am the founder of Computer 01 and the person that's going to be teaching you guys how to program. So programming basics. Now programming is not a really programming in the eyes of many people is a really abstract concept, because it seems kind of a thing that only specialized people can do, but this is not true at all. Programming is now simpler than ever. Back 1970s, 1960s, you actually had to rewire a whole computer in order to program. So this is nothing. But this is nothing compared to that. This is programming itself. You can argue whether it's easy or hard. Some people's eyes it's really hard. Some people's eyes it's really easy, and anyone can learn it. Really, it's not something that only specialized people can learn. You don't need to go. You don't need a college degree. I'm only 13 years old and I already know 4 or 5 programming languages, so it's totally fine. But again, if you are totally new to programming languages, I recommend you watch this video first before going on. But of course, it's your choice. So let's begin. Now, what exactly is programming? Now, programming is basically just making a program so that it can be executed by a computer. That's what programming is. If you want a specific definition, it's basically mm, it's basically what I said, like basically making the code of a program the so it can be formulated to make an actual application on the computer. Now, programming is there are many applications of programming, and we're gonna dive a little bit more deeper in this in the actual section of it. For now, just remember that programming is all around us. Every single electronic you see was programmed in some way to act in a specific manner. Now, what is a programming language? Now, a programming language is basically the medium in which you program is made from. So think of it as sort of the building blocks of programming. And programming languages itself. There are many of them, and you don't need to be limited to just one. You can learn many of them. Now, there is often a little bit of a myth when it comes to programming languages. That is, if you know that if programming languages are super hard to learn, and that's not actually true. The programming languages themselves, I like to think of programming languages like this, that they are just normal languages, except you're not talking with someone, you're not talking with an actual person, but you're talking to the computer. It's the language of computers, and that's really what it is. It's sort of like learning a language, except you're not going to be talking in Java with someone. You're going to be talking with Java with the computer. And in reality, and when we learn about how programming works, really, you're not actually talking to the computer. You're you're actually telling a sort of translator, and then the translator is sort of translating to the computer. So that's how I think of programming, really. And of course, popular programming languages include Java, Python, and C. And a little bit of a tip is that if you learn C, then you basically have learned the basics for many programming languages, as many languages are based off of C. C is sort of like the mother of programming languages. And the reason is because C was a revolutionary thing, a sort of a revolution of programming when it first came out. And Java, C++, they are all based off of C. I mean, there are many programming languages based off of C. And bloody C++, which is used to make games, it was actually not even a programming language at the start. It was actually just an addition of programming called C with classes. So that's something interesting to know. Now, how exactly does programming work? Now, programming works like this. And programming works like this, that whatever language you use has something called compiler. Now, compiler is built in a way that it turns what you wrote into machine code or assembly. And then this assembly actually talks to the computer. So that's what I said. When you write a program, you're actually talking to a translator, which is the compiler, and the compiler is talking to the actual computer. So that's how I like to think about it. So if you see the diagram below, you actually do the coding. Then when you run the program, the compiler turns that program or whatever you wrote in the code, it turns that into assembly, and the assembly talks to the computer. Now, how should I approach programming? Now, so this is sort of incomplete. I'm so sorry, but how you should approach programming. Again, programming itself is not that hard. I like to think of it as sort of like a language. This, what I meant to write here was this is sort of like a kind of misconception and myth. Programming is not hard. I know I've said this a million times, and programming itself is not that hard. What are some modern day applications of programming? Now, programming is all around us. Again, like I said, everything from the computer to the parking meter is programmed so it behaves like it would. This, whatever you're watching this on, it was programmed. Windows was programmed. The phone was programmed. The app that you're YouTube, the app that you're using to watch this on your phone or PC, it was programmed in a way so that way it could behave like this, so that we could share. So everything around us, every electronic around us is programmed such a way. And again, a fun fact is that actually a lot of parking meters use Java as the program language. So blame Java for pesky, stupid parking meters. Now, how do I learn the program? Well, you can go ahead and check out some of my tutorials. I have made some for Java, C, Python, and much more. This is actually my first video, so if you're just watching this and I haven't made any, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna make a Java tutorial right after this. But so yeah. Again, you can look at my tutorials if you came afterwards. Now the end. The end. This is sort of the episode. This is the end of the first episode of the Basics of Programming video series. We're gonna be learning the next episode. We're gonna be learning about the types of programming languages, such as object-oriented programming languages like Java and other type of programming languages, and what the difference between each one are. I can't speak English. What the difference between each one. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. If you want more tutorials on how to program, stuff like that, then go ahead, subscribe right now, as you're going to be learning a whole lot when you come to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later.